What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Stardust here. Welcome back to another build video here in Marvel's Avengers. I've been doing a few of these lately, and I have decided that after this video, I'm just going to go on a little break from Avengers because I am feeling just a touch burnt out. So if you decide to look in the channel in the next couple of weeks and expect Marvel's Avengers content, then there's a good chance minus some news videos that you probably won't get it. So hopefully that isn't a big kill for you. But I thought before I do that, I need to show you guys this really awesome Black Panther build. I'm so excited to show you that all I can do is keep kicking the air. So what I'm going to do, as per usual, is I'm in the custom harm room. I'm going to play with what they called really quickly Synthoids size 5. Going to do it on normal difficulty as always, just to give you guys a feel of the build, and then I will show you exactly how I've done it, and then I will show you exactly, you know, what you need to do with gear, skills, stuff like that. So let's get started. So we jump straight in. So there's a few ways that you can engage combat with this build. So you can start off by throwing these and getting your invulnerability build up. This will allow you to be able to do this combo right here. You see what I'm getting at already? You see what I'm putting down? So, there you go. So, those are already defeated. You don't even need to do that combo necessarily. This works just as good. It provides you Sonic just as well, and it keeps everyone stunned. The only difference is between doing that and the combo that I did before is that you can get sort of self-battery with it, as you can see right here. But obviously the kinetic daggers need to be able to hit your enemies. That is the only problem with doing it like that. There's a bit of a risk there. There's sort of a risk-reward system sort of situation with this build. But as you can see here, I'm still, very comfortable. Still managing to hit my takedowns. Still managing to feel pretty safe, and if I ever don't, then I get out the fight and I start throwing these about, and I get invulnerability buff eventually. And the thing is that even though the damage isn't all there, because a lot of these enemies are going to be covered in Sonic, it doesn't necessarily matter too much. So look, there you go. Big burst of energy, and that'll be it for now. So if you're wondering how to do that, then please stick around for this video because it is going to get awfully fucking juicy. So let me go into the menu. So this is the the stats. There you go. 308 might only. Now, there is a reason for this, and I'll explain a little bit as, it goes along. But essentially, the idea was that I wanted to kind of, maximize the damage output without losing too much of that quality gear, if you know what I mean. So I'll explain as we go along. So here's the first piece, faultless buff, which you can only get in Wakanda, by the way. Just want to clear that up now because people do ask me, like, Stardust, where'd you get faultless buff from? And I always say, look, Wakanda only. Reason for that? No idea. Heavy combo finishes inflict sonic damage. Now, I actually wanted Pym on this and Sonic for the daggers, but I couldn't get that. So I would say I'd advise doing it in reverse. So get like a heavyweight buff, and then the heavy combo finishers deal Pym. But there's, and I'll explain why right now. So the reason being is because you need kinetic daggers to do the, the splash at the end where he throws the daggers before doing the heavy combo finisher ground pound. You need kinetic daggers for that to be a thing. So what I would recommend is trying to get that Sonic, because that will probably apply more Sonic in the long run. I just feel like I've benefited more when I've messed around with the kinetic daggers being Sonic than I have vice versa. But I've just not been able to find that really good first gear piece yet. But I'll keep you all updated in the comments of this video. 13.8% chance hitting an enemy with a ranged critical attack, my apologies, grants an invulnerability buff. Obviously this can be literally just me throwing the daggers, so I can get into the fight relatively safe. This can also be from the daggers that you throw during the combo, so you can keep up sort of an invulnerability buff. This sort of build reminds me a lot of the Hawkeye build that I did a while back. You remember the Sonic one I did? And the only difference is this is probably a lot less safe. So, like, I did a boss fight with it earlier, and yeah, I did the boss absolutely fine. Like, I didn't die or anything, but my point is that, it's not a sort of, like, I can just stand there, right? There is a bit of work that still needs to be done. And then for the next two pieces, these are gear pieces that you've seen on every single, like, Black Panther build known to mankind. The Legacy of the Ancestors with 20% increased damage and defense while Bash Chosen's active, and then a 20% increase in stun status and all normal damage for intrinsic attacks. This one's important because you're going to be getting a lot of percussion blast, which when that's active, actually means that, you know, you're always doing intrinsic attacks, right? So that's actually quite important. Whereas this one, you know, it's nice to have. You're going to be getting a lot of heroic charge rate as well. I did try and mess around with a few things. I did this for a little bit, but it's just kind of eh. You know what I mean? Like, it's just eh. Like, you know, it's okay having that boost, but I don't know, man. It feels better to have something like this. And then obviously I've got the triple might on there as well. And then we've got the might and valor tactagon piece as well, just for the simple fact of the status effects. You know what I mean? Getting them all juicy. So we're gonna go in the skills really quickly. So for this one, I'll be honest, gonna be perfectly honest. These kimono beads. Kimono beads and bombs and stuff matter a lot. This one especially, as you can see, even just from the little box, they stun. So if I'm like in a pickle and I need to like do it, I'll use the kimono beads, do some crazy takedowns and stuff like that, and be on my way. If for some reason I am in a jam, the rest don't really matter. I'm not gonna lie to you. The rest are pretty unimportant. This is all right, but again, you know, the build doesn't kind of change or get worse depending on any of these, so that's kind of, you know, the reason I'll probably skip those ones. So we've got increase attack damage by 10% while performing air melee combos. Again, I thought that was probably like the best case scenario. You do the percussive blast, enemies are going to be thrown up into the air. It's easy pickings from there, really. Increase the stun damage of all heavy combo finishes by 20%. I mean, if we're going to do a load of takedowns, then we may as well keep working on the stun damage, right? And by the way, for anyone wondering, like, oh, well, why don't you just use the ring? You're absolutely right with that, but this build doesn't depend on having ultimates up. Not really. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's not really kind of... It's not a big deal to have the ultimates up. And that's kind of one of the reasons why, like, oh, well... You know, and also as well as this gives me 10 extra and it just makes it look better. So you can use the ring. You can use the ring, you know, especially because if you want to, like, bounce it between this build with the kimono beads and just keep getting it up, you can definitely do that. That's kind of its own build all on its own. But, like, I just personally like doing more of the status effect, you know, getting that intrinsic up over anything else, really. So then we've got performing a takedown generous heroic orb, of course. Swap out the dagger thrown in the ranged combo finisher with the kinetic dagger. Make sure to do this, so that way when you're throwing the daggers, if the enemies have got Sonic over them from an attack you've done before and you're trying to get invulnerability back, you can still do a little bit of damage. You know, you can see it there as well with the stun damage there too. The rest of these are literally just boosters when it comes to intrinsic attacks. You'll notice that. Like, the rest is just like, oh, look, increase this damage with this, and increase this damage with this. Like, the rest you want to be going for sort of solely, like, damage-orientated kind of, like, perks. And for the champion system, I'm not gonna lie, I don't touch the champion system, and if I do, then it's not anything that's, like... anything deep, you know what I mean? Like, I can't give you a deep sort of, oh, well, I do this with the champion system. Like, it's not like that. So, hopefully, you know, hopefully that is all right. So what we're going to do is, now that you guys know that I do stuff like that, let me jump in it one more time. So again, you can come at it from this kind of angle. So, you know, throw these, get your invulnerability buff up, stuff like that. Or you can just go straight in. You know, if you're thinking to yourself, oh, these are easy, then sure, go straight in. Why not? And there you go. There you go. Now I'm farming the Sonic that I end up getting. I genuinely believe Sonic is probably going to get nerfed in the future, which is a little bit of a shame because, like, you know, it's fun. But I'll be honest, the builds that you can do with Sonic alone are kind of ridiculous. Like, I have now done, like, 3 builds with Sonic alone, as you've seen with my Iron Man one, with my overpowered Hawkeye one. It's ridiculous the amount of things that I'm able to sort of produce with it. So, that's kind of my thought pattern with that. That's crazy. That's crazy. I haven't even done the big combo yet that I've been telling you guys to do. I should probably do that. Let me clear these guys out, and then I'll open up the next kind of wave with it. Right, let me get some invulnerability up, just so I don't get kind of stopped in my tracks. These guys are very persistent. One moment. There you go. So, 1. A lot of stun locking. I was actually complaining a little bit about this when when I had the issue earlier of not being able to do it, because I was kind of like, I like to test out the builds before I do the video to make sure that I'm not chatting nonsense, so to speak. You know what I mean? Is it a fluke, or is it normally as good? And my god, the stun locking from some of these enemies in the game, especially these people, is crazy. Like, we need a training dummy in the custom harm rooms. I think that's something that needs to be looked into. It's not a priority, no, but like, it's still important. So we're going to drop him with a power bomb. And let's hope we can open this one up with the combo. There you go. Woo! There it is. See, look at all those things popping up. Full of cosmic, full of invulnerability. You got the percussive blast active as well. Beautiful stuff. You got that damage boost. You know what I mean? Like, this nice. Let's powerbomb this guy and we'll be done with it. There you go. Okay. I would say the wrestling ones are definitely the best takedown. So there you go. So that is the build today, ladies and gentlemen. That is the build that I've got for Black Panther. Let me know if you enjoy it. Comment down below, different builds that you may want to see in the future. I will be live streaming tomorrow. I'll be streaming Borderlands 3. I'm going to try and get into that game a little bit. Just try and get into a bunch of different games and stuff like that. And hopefully you guys will be interested in that. So I will see you in a bit. And peace.